Hey everybody, I'm going to give you a little short video as a update for some recent car projects I've had with the C4 here. As you can see, I'm driving it with the top on, which is great. I bought this car maybe in 2012 and it had a single crack in the top. Well, I tried to repair that myself, maybe put a band-aid on it. I used some weld that welds acrylics and plastic together, melts it and reforms it, and drilled a hole in the end of the crack to take the stress off of it. But apparently I didn't do that right, because the crack just splintered in several other directions then. And so really from that time, I guess about 2014, 2015, I haven't driven this car with the top on a lot. It rattled, it was annoying, it was useless. So I finally decided that it was time to replace the thing. I enjoy driving it with the top off, but when it's 100 degrees, 90 degrees outside, it's just not a whole lot of fun driving the car with the top off. I'm sure you can understand that. Well, so I sent the top off to Corvette Factory in Illinois. That's their URL is corvettetops.com. And they charge $450 to completely refurbish the thing, and they did an outstanding job. The top is a nice factory looking, factory thickness acrylic, and it's smoked. It's very, very attractive. It looked great on the car, looks factory. He used my frame instead of putting a cheap frame on there, or an aftermarket frame. You know that some companies will use supposedly an aftermarket frame, and it usually doesn't work very well. It doesn't work as well. He refurbished my frame, so I know it fits, I know it works right. He put new weather stripping on the side of it, up here along the tops of the windows, and I've been through 3 or 4 rainstorms. It doesn't leak except on the front of the passenger door, which the weather stripping on the front of the door itself leaks a little bit. But other than that, the windshield doesn't leak. You know, in my last video I showed that I changed the windshield weather stripping and installed Frost King insulation under the carpet and in the door panels. And I'll say, now that I have the top back on it, you might wonder, is this Frost King, is this something that's worth doing? Should I do that? And the answer to that question is absolutely. No, it isn't Dynamite. It isn't supposed to be. And I'm not in audio competitions. But I don't hear my 315s roaring in the back anymore. I don't hear the 285s up front. I don't hear the road noise like I did. And the car has less vibration. I don't hear the engine noise as loudly. I don't hear the exhaust pipes right under me. I do have the engine drone, which is pretty typical for any C4 with aftermarket exhaust. See if you can hear. A little sideways there. You can still hear it, you know, but it sounds better, it sounds cleaner. I don't have the raggedy exhaust sound anymore like I had. So I would say that I'm really happy with all 3 things that I did. The weather stripping around my windshield from Wilcox, the Frost King for $80 at Home Depot, and the top refurbish from corvettetops.com, Corvette Factory, Richard up in Illinois. A little story on that. I sent the thing away in early July, and you know Murphy's Law. My wife tells me it came, but the box looks damaged. And sure enough, FedEx had crushed the box on one of the corners and broken the corner right there off of the acrylic. It was just broken, 3 or 4 cracks. So he told me, hey, duct tape it together and enjoy it, and then after the weekend, mail it back to me. And I said, I'm so sick about it, I'm just gonna put it back in the box. So he went through the return process. FedEx came out and picked it up. Didn't charge me anything. They shouldn't, you know, it's just right. FedEx paid for it to be shipped back. FedEx paid for it to be shipped to me. And he replace the lens again. So it was a lengthier process. It was nearly 2 months from when I sent it off to when I got it back, but 4th of July was in there. It had to go both ways, twice. But it was worth the wait, and it was worth it to not, you know, Melrose makes great tops. Never heard a single negative thing about Melrose. However, they're about twice as much. I've heard bad things about Astro out in Florence. I heard they make good C3 T-tops, but the Targas they make for the C4s don't last, and I don't know. Never dealt with them, but that's what I've read, so I was a little leery to go with them. But Corvette Factory, CorvetteTops.com, was by far the cheapest, and it looks great. Absolutely great. So, ecstatic about that. I've driven the wheels off the car since then. I use it as my daily driver. Air conditioner keeps it plenty cool. I can freeze my wife out, which is great to say about an air conditioner from a 1985 car. I don't have it running now. It's so loud blowing on the phone that it kind of ruined the first video I tried to shoot. But anyway, wanted to give you a little update on the car. Take care, and we'll see you down the road.